What's going on, everybody? In the works, and we are playing on a Metro. And I don't really like posting a lot of Metro game play. I guess I should add play to the end of that. I don't really like posting a lot of Metro gameplay just because it's pretty much the same every single time. It's like you get to first base, run through the tunnels, flank around, have a giant cluster at the top of the escalators, push outside, game over. But I got this game, and I thought that I was watching it back, and I actually used a few of the clips for the last showdown, which if you didn't see, naughty, you need to watch it, because it was actually a pretty good showdown. It had two of my favorite weapons in this game, which are the UMP, which I'm using now, and the PDWR. Both solid choices, so you'll have to go over there and see which one you think is better. But yeah, this was a good example of a solid way to approach this map. A good work, some good teamwork, honestly. And if you're interested in seeing the live version of this from Meryl's perspective, he's actually in this squad along with Ponstar. He has this up on his channel, the live version of it, so you can go over there and check it out. It's actually pretty interesting to see it from his perspective and kind of hear us talking, because you can actually hear me talking, you can hear everybody in the squad talking, which is kind of cool because it gives you, you can see it from my kind of post commentary type thing where I'm breaking it down, but then you can see it from what my live perspective and kind of how I was breaking it down while we were actually playing the game. So ultimately, that's why I chose to post this gameplay, so I will link that in the description. You can go over there and check it out. But you notice that we didn't really have a whole lot of trouble getting that first objective. And now we've already pushed into the tunnels, and this is going to be a quick game. I've actually shortened it, but the game only lasted 11 minutes, which is fairly quickly for Operation Metro Rush game. Sometimes these things can go 20, 30 minutes, but if you get on a good squad, you get in a good team, you can really just push through teams, especially if you consider yourself a superior player. So right now, our objective is we're picking two people to go down the left side and one person to go down the right side. Now, why only one person goes down the right side? I like to run down the left side personally. I feel like it's the best because it has the most options for flanking, because you can always go out into the train track if things get too heated, if you kind of get cut off. But I like this side just because I think pushing through the locker rooms is key for taking this base. And as you see me, you're killed by a Claymore, and that's why Claymores are banned in our server. I just can't stand Claymores. It's not that I think they're cheap, it's just you can't see them in Battlefield, and it's just, I guess that's what makes them cheap. It's not the notion of the Claymore, it's the visibility of the Claymore is just really bad sometimes. But anyways, back on topic, is these locker rooms right here are way more important in my eyes than taking the right side. So my logic behind this, you can push up from the left and have somebody look in through that hallway at that first train car, which I'm looking at right now. And at that point, you can push into the locker rooms. And once you take the locker rooms, you kind of hold an advantage over to the B objective as well, the B MCOM, because now you can actually look over into there. So I've always liked to get A first, just because then you can look over into the next one from A. And I think that's really important, is to get on the other side over there, kind of cut them off. And you can also push them back, because on this objective right here, if you can take locker rooms, you can look right into their spawn right as they run out of their spawn, and it really makes this a lot less painful, because this can be one of the more painful objectives to take because there are a lot of choke points. So you see me pushing through right now, and I push through, I see that no one's really looking at me, and I get a triple assist as everybody steals my kills right there, but that's okay, because we've now taken the locker rooms. That medic, suicide medic, comes over there to revive, which, guys, I want to point out, since we're on that topic real quick, is suicide medicing is probably the worst thing you can do on your team. I just don't understand why people are so gung-ho about reviving in a situation where you're most likely going to die. You'll see me revive a ton, because if you don't revive, you're doing your team a huge disservice. And obviously I can't revive because I'm running support right now. But if you run out there, if 2 or 3 medics run after a dead body, they're going to waste 2, 3, 4 extra tickets maybe, if 4 people die on that, just to revive one guy and save 1 ticket. So you got to be really smart about your revives. That's why you see me, I'm pretty meticulous about who I revive. I make sure that it's not going to cost us an extra ticket, because I feel so guilty when I go to revive and I just get killed. Because at that point you're like, wow, I just shouldn't have revived him. I just wasted our team a ticket. So that's one of the reasons why you may see me play a little bit more cautious in terms of reviving, just because I like to play a little bit more like objective based. I like to be smart about my movements. I don't like to waste movements in Battlefield, because that's how you get to the point where you're like, wow, we only have 20 tickets left. How did that happen? Well, if you weren't trying to Rambo revive everybody, we would be in a better situation. So that's my pro tip for the day. Be smart about your revives, guys. I'm not saying you shouldn't revive, obviously. That's silly. You just should be smart about it. You just don't have to run out there and try to revive every dead body. But anyways, back on topic, you see we've taken this base right now. We've taken A, so that means look at where I'm at right there. We were in control of it right there, and I had to cut that part out, unfortunately, because it was just so long. But we do eventually take it. You notice that we did have them surrounded. And at this point, I've cut out the top escalator base because, honestly, all that is you push into locker rooms. Once you take locker rooms, it's game over. But now we're on the last objective, which a lot of people struggle on the last objective. And I like to get into this building right here facing B. And what I'll do is I'll wait till it's kind of calmed down out there until I know that there's a line, and I'll just run straight for the bus. You see Pone Star right out there right now. Meryl's up top. I'm just going to make a beeline right now for the bus. That's the only objective I have right now. I'm not even going to engage anybody unless I have to. Run right into the bus, hit the deck. The bus is now mine. At this point, I can cut them off from their spawn, and that's really important because now we can hold the objective a lot easier from the bus right here, because if somebody can get the plant off. Now, I'm going to plant it right here. We have a little miscommunication, and Meryl actually runs over there and plants it at the same time, so I'm like, all right, I'm going back into the bus. But the bus is definitely where you want to be once you get that MCOM planted, because they will spawn back there by the statue. And once you have it planted, once you have someone in the bus, it's pretty much game over, guys. I mean, it's fairly simple to defend it. It's really hard for them to pick you off from this bus just because you do have the advantage of them. But hopefully you guys learned a little bit about teamwork in this. I mean, it may not have been the most insightful video, but it showed you my approach to Operation Metro and a few random tidbits about Battlefield 3. But I will see you guys next time. Peace.
Pone Star's hacking. They're like 3 dudes crying.